Fall asleep again? Hey guys, welcome back to Home Theater Gurus. Today we're going to do an update on the Valencia Tuscany seating you see behind me here. All right guys, so we've had the Tuscany now for about 6 months. We've probably put about 300 hours on our projector, so that's how much time we spent in here. And before that, we actually used them in the living room before, we had some other seats that are in there now. So, they've had a lot more use than just that, and they've held up incredibly well. As a matter of fact, like the two center seats have been sat in more than anything. That seat way over there on the other side hasn't really been sat in much at all. You would be hard pressed to find any difference from the day we got them. They still look pristine. They've held up immaculate, no problems whatsoever. The leather is really, really soft. I stressed that on the initial video, but just living with them for a while, it is a very, very soft, kind of like a buttery leather. I've had some other seats that, also had nice leather, but they weren't quite as soft. It just depends on what you want. It's just, some leathers are thicker. Some are, this one's just a little more on the softer sides. I've had Seatcraft, I've had Berkline and some other seats in the past, and they're all very nice. When you get something online, I know it is a little bit scary because you just don't know what you're going to get. You've got Leggett and Platt mechanisms, which, they've been doing reclining mechanisms as long as I can remember. So they're, the standard basically in reclining seats. The foam on the cushions, like I said, it's held up great. Now talking about the cushions, as far as the feel of the seat, it's a very comfortable seat, but it's not so comfortable you can't stay awake during the movie. Like my Berklines were like that. They were like pillows when you sat into them, which was great, when you first think about it, but then after you use them, you can't stay awake. So, it's kind of wasn't so great. These are kind of a medium, soft, firm, kind of right in the middle. So for me, they're actually perfect. All right, now for the rest of this, I'm gonna grab the camera. We're just gonna go around and look. But a lot of the stitch work, that I keep talking about is just the way that the seams are made. They're not bunched up on the edges like some of the manufacturers that I've seen and owned. The stitching is just perfect. Everything lines up on the diamond pattern. Get a little more light over here. All right, so if you notice the diamond pattern, like the distance from the top to this point, it's the same on all the seats. And I've had some where that wasn't the same, and it just really bugged me. It's little things like that, and the way the stitching is, if you look at it, it's just immaculate in the detail. It's just very, very well done. I wasn't really expecting everything to be that perfect, and I'm just one of those people that looks at everything. And also, like on the seats that are side by side, you notice the way the stitches, they actually come together to the same height. I've had that before where that wasn't the case. And the stitches across the seats from one seat to another, they're even. Just things like that really kind of stick out to me. I'm really, really impressed with the overall quality. All right, and of course we have a love seat configuration in the middle. I like that configuration because it puts two seats 1 foot from the center of the room. So you basically have two main listening positions. Now what you see laying right here on the seats is actually an accessory from Valencia that you can get if you have this type of configuration where you have an arm that has been removed. So, it's got this little shark fin looking thing, and that actually goes right between the seats. All right, so now whenever you do want a seat there, you've got it. Now, of course it does move a little bit, but it's not gonna go anywhere. You can put your drink in there, whatever. It's got a little storage, which this is something cool. I've never seen one of these that actually had storage inside. Of course it's not much, but it's put a remote there, whatever. It's handy, nice to use the cavity for something. And this right here is actually a popcorn bowl holder. It comes with the bowl, just like you see it there, and it even has a little stand. You see the bottom of the bowl, there's a little stand that fits in, so you can actually place this, like on the counter. So you go fill up your popcorn, got your little nub right there, sticks into the hole, and there you go. So yeah, that's pretty handy. It's a nice, solid bowl. I don't know if it's stainless steel or whatever, but it's pretty stout little bowl. That bowl is a pretty good size. It'll hold probably, at least a bag of popcorn. Of course, we've got the tray table. Everybody's probably familiar with the tray table. I use the tray tables a lot for my computer. Your computer sits on there, very, very nicely. You push it out of the way when you're done, get up or whatever. And also when I'm watching movies, I'll set my remote right there, my phone and everything else, and it's got a little place to charge your phone on the sides of the seats. Valencia, he does have some newer lines like the Ultimate that had just recently come out. Now those are supposed to have, you know, some upgrades, like you have 7 different LEDs you can choose from, where here we just have blue. And I think it also addresses one of my pet peeves with these seats. It's really the main thing that really kind of aggravates me is that you can't turn the blue lights off. So you see the, you know, the blue lights behind your control panel, you can't turn them off. So the ones under the seat, I can hit that button. It's kind of hard to see right here, but there's a little button I can hit that. And you see it turns off the cup holder, and it also turns off underneath the seat. So I can turn those off, but I can't turn, you know, the LED behind the control panel there. I can't turn it off. And whenever you're watching a movie, it is kind of bright, distracting. I think the newer seats, you can turn that off. All right, so let's look at the operation of the headrest real quick. So you can see it moves fast. It's quiet. All right, and the lumbar, let's check that bad boy out. All right, and the seats themselves. Now some people ask, you know, do the seats squeak, things like that, and no, these haven't really had any problems with these being squeaky seats or anything like that. So they could lay down a little bit lower, like if you wanted to sleep in them or something like that, but of course they're not made for that. They're made to, you know, to watch movies. So they're not gonna lay perfectly flat, but definitely plenty, you know, down enough to relax and really enjoy your movie. All right, on the backs of them, you have a hinge that is visible from the back. I thought this was gonna bug me at first, but honestly, it doesn't really bother me at all. It's a, you know, nice looking hinge, I guess, but there isn't gonna be a visible hinge from the back. All right, let's lift these up. And these are gonna be pretty deep, and they've got a little strut right here to kind of hold it open. They're big enough to hold the accessories and the tray tables and all that kind of stuff. And while we went over the accessories like the popcorn holder, the little love seat arm, and the tray table, they also have some other accessories that, you know, most people are familiar with, like the wine holder, the tablet holder. So you can check those out on their website. So one thing that does kind of bother me, besides the lights, my other little pet peeve is where this hinges. This headrest, in my opinion, it hits my head too low whenever I rock it forward or bring the headrest forward. So my shoulders would be like right here, so it just doesn't hit my head like I wish it did. I've had some seats in the past that actually, when they came forward, they came up too. So it kind of kept everything kind of higher up instead of just hinging down low. They just fit my head better. So I still use a pillow. A lot of times I'll use the headrest with the pillow to kind of get it perfect. You know, I don't really mind, but that's just another thing that I wish the headrest hinged a little higher or was a little bit different style of a hinging headrest. So that's gonna be it for the review on that. Just overall, just really pleased with the seats. Excellent stitch work, and just the attention to detail is really outstanding on these. You know, the quality of the mechanisms, and they feel solid. They're very heavy, I'll tell you that. They're very, very heavy seats. They're not light at all. Have someone help you when you move them. They will hurt you if you try to do it by yourself. But they're just really good quality seats. Personally, I wouldn't spend any more on seating. You know, once you get to like a level like this, I mean, there's some seats out there that cost $5,000 a seat, and maybe they're made with unicorn wood for the frames. I don't know, but I just don't think you're really going to get anything that's worth it. Like I said, these have held up pristinely. I could have one of those seats could be brand new and you wouldn't know. You know, I mean, they never sat in and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the other seats. There's just no wear on them at all. They've just been holding up extremely well. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Don't forget to look down the description. We've got links to the seats here and some affiliate linking that helps the channel out. So if you don't mind, just check those out. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know the next videos are gonna come out, and we'll see you next time.